Hey guys, assalamu alaikum, it's me Talha. So this is part 2 of a tutorial series in which I show you how to model classical architectural elements in Revit. But before I get started, I would like to suggest you check out my website learnrevitonline.com to get my Revit advanced courses, as well as you can check out my Patreon to get all my Revit project files. All the links are in the description. Now let's get started. The tip number 2 is about creating the classical facade elements around the windows. So I prefer using the model in place to create the classical facade elements for the windows. Instead of spending time on creating a new parametric family, I would just use model in place and create the classical facade elements on a window, and then I can just copy that to all the other windows. The reason for that is not all the classical house designs have the same window trims or the same classical design, so it's better not to spend time creating the parametric families for such small projects. Anyway, let's quickly create a basic classical facade design here for these windows. So let's go to the east elevation. Now let's create a model in place here. Select generic models and let's create the design here. So first let's create an extrusion around these windows. So let's select extrusion, pick a plane, pick the face of this wall, and let's draw a rectangle around these windows. And then we can give the 10 centimeter offset here and draw another rectangle around these windows, and the thickness of this extrusion will be 10 centimeters. We can put that here in the extrusion end. Let's put 10 centimeter, click finish, and if I go to 3D, you can see we got this extrusion around these windows. Now let's go back to the east elevation again, and we want to create another extrusion. So let's go to create extrusion, select the work plane to this face here, and then we can just draw from the middle 1 meter, and then 0.05, and just draw until the middle of this window. And then we can just select all of these and then mirror from the middle here. Now let's copy this to the top here as well. Just try to place it exactly on this window. Now let's click finish and go to 3D, and let's make it 20 centimeter. Now we can create the sweep around this extrusion. So let's go to create, select sweep, pick path, and just pick the edges of this extrusion here. Now let's click finish and edit profile. Let's go to the front view again, and we can just create the profile here. So I have created a profile like this. Now we can just copy this to clipboard so we can use it for the bottom part as well. So let's click here, copy to clipboard, and then we can just click finish again. There you go, we got this sweep here. Now to fill this gap we can use the extrusion. So let's go to create, select extrusion, and set work plane, pick a plane, and this time we'll just pick the face of this sweep here. Then we can just draw a rectangle from that corner to this. Okay, we'll just change it to hidden line so you can see it clearly. Now let's click finish, and we can just use this handle and just drag this until this extrusion, and on the top as well. Perfect. Now let's create the sweep at the bottom of this window. So let's go to create, select sweep, pick path, pick the edges of this extrusion. Now let's go to the east elevation. and click finish. Select profile, edit profile, and we can now just press Ctrl V to paste the same profile which we have created for the top of this window. But here we want to change the size of this, as well as we want to change the design. So let's select all of these and use scale, and from here to here let's make it 0.1 or 10 centimeter. Perfect. Let's move it and place here. Now I want to remove this one and just make a line here like so. Let's click finish, finish again, and there you go, we got this sweep here as well. Now let's cover these grooves. So for that also we can use the extrusion. Let's go to create, extrusion, pick a plane and pick the face of this wall, and let's draw a rectangle. Perfect. Let's click finish, and to change the thickness we can put 0.001. Perfect. Now let's add the material parameter to these extrusions. So I want to apply the same material to all of these, so I will just select all. If you want to apply different materials, you can just select that particular extrusion and just click here and add a different parameter. For now I want to use the same material for all of these, so let's select all and click here in the material. We can just click this button and create new. So let's call it window classical elements and click OK. OK again. Let's click finish model, and you will find the material parameter in the edit type here. You can simply just load a material. Now let's quickly create a keystone here. Let's select this again, edit type, go to front view, and just go to create, extrusion, set the work plane to this face, and I will just create a basic design for this keystone. And click finish. Let's go to 3D, and we can just drag it through the sweep. So I created this basic design for this keystone. If you want to add a decorative keystone, you can just convert it from other 3D software such as SketchUp or 3ds Max. I have tutorials on both these softwares on how you can convert the SketchUp or 3ds Max models into Revit families. You can check them out. The link will be in the description. Anyway, I will add the same material parameter to this keystone. Let's select that, click this button and select this material parameter which we have just created. Click OK, finish model. So our design is ready, and we can now just copy this to the other windows. But before that we need to detach these extrusions from the work plane, so we can easily rotate them to place on these windows. So let's select this generic model, edit in place, and to detach these extrusions from this work plane we can just select the extrusion, edit work plane, and here you have the button dissociate. Just click it, and we need to repeat that with the other extrusions as well. So let's select all the other extrusions and edit work plane and just click dissociate. Now we are ready to copy these elements to the other windows. Let's click finish model, go to the east elevation, and let's select this one, copy from the corner of this window, place here, and make sure multiple is checked here so we can create a multiple copies of this. We want to add one here, and we'll change the size of this in a moment. We want one more here, and then just copy this one here, and let's go to 3D and go to the top view, and here we have these generic models. We need to move them to the window here, and this one, this window is on this wall, so I'll just move that one here, and this we can just rotate 90 degrees. I just move it to the wall here. Now let's go to this view here, to the south elevation, and we can just select this one and move it to the corner of this window here, and then copy and create another one here. Perfect. Now we need to edit this one, so let's select that, edit type, go to this, to the east elevation. Let's edit this extrusion. We can just select this line and move it to the window here, this one as well. Now click finish, and we don't need this extrusion, so let's delete it, and we can just move the bottom part and place here. Okay, we should use the middle point, middle of this extrusion, and just move it to the middle, to the mid of this window. Now if you notice, the sweep is missing here, so let's find that. Okay, here we have it. Now to move this sweep, we need to move this extrusion, because this sweep is attached with this extrusion. So let's edit the extrusion and just move it and place it here, and we want to change the size of this extrusion. Let's select both of these and then move. Let's move it 20 cm, and from here as well 20 cm. Click finish. There you go, the sweep is also now updated here. Now let's move this extrusion till here and here as well, and we can now just select this one and copy to the other small window here. Perfect. And click finish model. In the same way we can update this one as well. Let's select that, edit type, go to 3D. Okay, we need to move this to this wall here, so let's select this one, edit in place, and go to this elevation, and just move this one to the wall here, and this one as well. Okay, it's on another generic model, so first click finish model, and since it is in a separate generic model, we don't need to go to edit in place. You can just directly move it like so. Now here I need to move this window a little bit, because you see the stream is inside the wall, so we can just go to ground floor, and I'll just quickly move this window as well as this generic model. Just take it out from this wall. Perfect. So we can use the same method and create the design for this curved window. So I have created these elements for this window and the door, as well as for this curtain wall here, by using the same method which I used for this small window. I just changed the sizes of these extrusions and the sweep. Now I'll just quickly add a decorative element here, which I converted from SketchUp. Go to architecture, select component, and let's just add it to this face here. Just make sure place on face is selected. Let's place it on this face and go to the east elevation, and we can just hit spacebar to rotate it and try to take it to the center. Again, I just want to remind you that I have two different videos on converting SketchUp or 3ds Max models into Revit families. You can check them out if you want to. The link is in the description. Anyway, let's place another one here in the middle of these two windows. So let's select component and select from this drop down, and I want to place one here. Let's copy to this window here, and we can just go to the 3D. Now we'll just quickly add that to the other windows. So these were the tips and tricks I wanted to share with you in this video. In the next part, we will work on the entrance design here, so stay tuned for that. So that's it for this video. I hope you have learned something new. So please make sure to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to turn on the post notifications, and don't forget to check out my website learnrevitonline.com to get my advanced Revit courses, as well as you can check out my Patreon to get this project file along with other 40+ project files. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.